Now I'm thinking about it.
Have what?
Like international music.
Oh yeah.
I think the first I can see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Push it. Push it again. I think you have to hold it for a second. Push and hold. Now let go. There you go. You're good. The green's on over here, so you should be good.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and get started. It's 11 o'clock and I'm happy to see you all. So, welcome to our June all company meeting, and it's our Festival of Cuisine, thanks to our social committee. So we'll talk more about that as we get going here. You know what, this is a new room for me, so let's drop one, see if that, what that does. Let's see if all the natural. Is that better? Yeah. All the lights up. All the lights? Yeah. Katie's gonna be our slide turner today, so let's get rolling.
I don't know why.
Before we go into bucket tips,
It won't
because I
go.
know a lot of you haven't met one another yet, I would like to go around the room, have everybody introduce themselves, and they can talk about which office they work out of. And if you want to share what dish you have, you can do that. If you don't want to, that's okay too. So, I'm Dayla. I'm at all the offices, and my dish I brought today was chicken and noodles because, you know, I'm a Midwestern girl, and that's just a staple go-to comfort food. So.
Hey, Kate Baker. I guess I too am at all the offices. I brought deviled eggs, just so you guys know, there's some that are kind of regular, and then there's some that have a little bit of a spicier twist to it. With a little bit of citrus on that, so. Try it if you dare.
I'm Pamela Johnson. I'm at all the offices as well. I probably met a lot of you. And I brought another cupcake that I made myself.
Nothing but cakes, and she's making them all the time.
They were well written, out there box.
Here, and I go around all the offices as well. Today I did an apple pie because I'm American and apple. My bars in the freezer if anybody wants to ice cream.
I am Tiffany Farr. I'm here in the Westerville office, and I actually didn't bring anything for my legal appointment. No, I'm Lily. I'm at the Easton office. I'm the director of first impressions, so I'm your go-to for business cards and things like that. And I brought pinwheels. They're cream cheese, jalapenos, tomato cheese, and onion.
Nice. They're really good.
They are.
They smell really good.
We're using ourselves, Kathy, because we're got people from everywhere, so.
Okay, Penny Motzinger, I'm with Northwest Flat. And I brought flyers today. We are having coffee with council on July 10th, and we're going to be talking about inducements and current legal issues in the real estate. So I have flyers so you guys can all let me know if you're coming. I just do you go RSVP, so our attorney brings enough information. Thank you.
James Sloan, Easton office, not really, I didn't make it anything today, sorry.
The office, someone give me.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jill Campbell. I'm located at the Easton office, but I'm a mentor, so I kind of travel. I do a lot in Lancaster as well. Meet some of the people there. But today, via Whole Foods, I think I'm Mediterranean today.
I'm Kimberly Schrod. I am Jill's business partner, and we're out of, like she said, the Easton office. And yes, we did bring grape leaves, some olives, some Mediterranean salad, and a little bit of falafel.
Sounds like a doctor's book.
Hi, I'm Taylor. I'm located here out of the Westerville office and I brought Buckeyes for a nice.
I like that. That's definitely heritage.
Bill Scourge, Keller Home Loans. I have an office down in the office. I was working late on pre-approvals last night, so my wife was gracious enough to make some double chocolate brownies.
I thought you were saying.
Those are the story there.
In office and I brought them. So enjoy them. I'm Darlene Lucan. I work out of the Greater Columbus of Westerville. I made avocado toast this morning, but I ate it and I got my house for the break.
I know.
You know me, but I am now at the Westerville office, so I'm the director of first impressions, so I'm an agent now, I'm super excited. Coordinator in Westerville now, and I got some tiramisu and Italian cookies.
How are the seven? I'm with them. They said, within the for secure. That's home base for me. They can wear it. So,
Right, and Arnold will run that.
Michael Bean, out of this office, I brought some sorted English cheeses. No, foliage.
I'm Tabitha Gusler, I'm based out of this office. And I am slacker, I didn't. Thank you guys all very much. I'm Nancy Steckline, wearing my says turkey egg, which is the Turkish way of saying turkey. I have a great affinity for turkey. And I brought the Donna Goose, which is a spicy meatball kind of Turkish dish with a couple of salads that go with it. And even if it looks like you might not want to do it, if you take a bite of the red onion salad and then bite of the ball.
I'd like to give the instruction on how to do it.
hi, I'm Bob McCarthy. I'm with the Powerhouse team out of the Easton office. I'm also on the ALC and the social committee, so we planned this. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And I brought a banana pudding, but instead of no wafers, I used the Chex cookies from Pepperidge Farm.
To make that all.
I'm Sarah Jennings, I guess, and I work out of the Easton office, and I was going to bring moonshine. But we are a little on reserve, so I can bring some for next time. That's where it's from.
Tony Romelli out of the Westerville office, and I forgot, so we ordered 6 pizzas from the kind of food truck at Ohio State, and Brandon's picking up right now.
Go Jansen, I'm with the Westerville office, and welcome, I will be.
I'm Romelli, I'm with Antonio, I'm from Romelli Group of this office, and the food truck is called Lavaya. She's from Italy, makes the best pizza in town. So even though we forgot, it's the.
You made up for it.
Hello, my name is Alexis here. I'm with the Romelli Group here at the Westerville office, and I will help them carry.
Thanks, that's good.
Hello, I am Michelle. I am with Sharon with Greater Columbus. KW. Yeah, I brought myself.
Yeah.
I'm Todd, I'm with the Easton office, and I'm on this guy.
Hi, Mark Sullivan, I'm your broker. You don't already know. I'm here to help you anytime you need. Eastern office, my main focus in real estate is commercial. Been a member of KW Commercial since its inception.
I'm Steve Springer from the Houston office. I brought nothing, the only here on lousy appointment, I'm always down, so.
Tracy Capra, is in office, wanted to pick up some food and direct them, if we have the team meeting, we're running a little long, so the thought that outside, so I'll bring something next time.
Tracy is a mushroom connoisseur. She sent me pictures over the weekend of mushrooms I have never seen before. And she's like, you want some? And I go, cook some, bring it to me. Not true. You talk more like about being the same right away. Yeah.
And Sullivan Easton office, I run the residential side of the development group.
Come on in. They're really good, guys. It's not, it's like church, nobody wants to talk about it. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Yeah, just say your name.
Christina Nelson.
And she works out the Easton office. And did you bring a dish today here?
I did.
What did you bring?
I bring curried potatoes with rice.
Ooh, very cool. All right, we'll learn more about it and see a little bit. All right, pizza guy. Oh, my bad. See?
No, it's fine. I'm Kate. I'm here in Westerville and I brought biscotti.
Kate Kanowski, for those of you in Easton, this is Jeff's daughter. All right. So, I know we did our introductions, it took a little longer. You might have a bucket to fill, you might do something great to help them, or something they want to share or celebrate, or anything. Yes.
She's not here, she's nothing. But Miranda has no idea. So I will be at that long and she is.
Very good. Let's all remember to tell Miranda when she comes. All right. Who else? Mike.
Just Kate and Jennifer and Joe for, it's been a crazy month and a half here. And I think the place has come together, it's feeling like home. Just appreciate all their extra efforts. Mix and obviously instrumental also of you, but literally Joe's here every day, roughly 50 hours a week, just making sure things are put together. We're able to function.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Looks great. Did you notice the new logo with the Columbus skyline when you came in on the glass? I love that. We're gonna do something at the Easton office similar, but it's not gonna be on glass, it's gonna be on wall. I just think that turned out so awesome. Yes. Anyway.
The front door is the first thing you see.
Yeah, and then the client focus thing that's in the Easton, well, in Lancaster, conference rooms, that's behind the front desk, right? That's one of my favorites too, so, yes. Who else in the bucket to fill? Yes.
She's been so amazing getting me onboarded.
Oh, you're amazing.
She is, she helps everybody and she's so patient.
Oh.
So, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh,
The staff is wonderful. Whenever I have a question, like I was having trouble with conference room a couple weeks ago and Lily went ahead and somehow organized it all and we all got our conference rooms. I was able to do my interview. And then I went for visioning with Tracy a couple weeks ago. And that's what we used to hire people as co-ins for visioning. And so I got this KPA back that was absolute all over the place. So I had said to Dayla, hey, do you have 15 minutes that we could sit down? She said, yeah, Tuesday morning, but you gotta hit me up early. And we sat down and went through it and the interview went very well. So I appreciate that help. Sometimes it's that extra step by really can pull you out of where you are and bring you back.
absolutely. Good. You guys have a bucket to fill. You just hopped in, introduce yourself.
Oh, sure.
And he's from the Easton office. So you guys knew him next, so, all right, we did that earlier, so, anyway, all right, anybody else for our roll?
Nope.
All right, June birthday, do you have a June birthday, raise your hand. Happy birthday, I know, I texted her on her birthday, and she was on a trip, and I'm like, oh, good for you.
Yeah, Siobhan.
That's Siobhan's birthday today, so wish her happy birthday. All right, roll. Also, you know what? We love celebrating your anniversaries because we love the fact that we have so many agents and the longevity that we have with them. So if you have a June anniversary, raise your hand. Anybody in here with a June? Happy anniversary. Huh. Okay, Miss FTA, make a note of that. We gotta figure out why. All right. Happy anniversary anyway.
Well, Mick, I have you on Facebook. I have you ready to.
Right, but don't go that far back. All right. That's good. All right, we've also got some newcomers in the room. I'm gonna have you stand up if you're in the room. Jessica DeSena, Johnny Flores, Christine Laura, Vanessa Ladd, Amanda Green, Natalie Nunsdorfer, Cody Swetnam, Michaela Burgess, Rashad Fields, and Christina Police, sorry. So, Jessica's the only one here that's new, so, Christina, okay. So, what we want you to do is we want you to tell us what you came from, and then I know you're new to us and we. We'll start with you. Then I was a director, fast. Then very good. We're so happy to have you. Go ahead, Jessica.
Okay, so I came from Virginia, that's Houston, and then I made the switch. I was in school prior to getting that job, and I put it on hold for like 8 months. And then I was like, maybe I should take the test because I'm really on the point. So yeah, and now I'm here. And then I also have a part-time job. We're doing paralegal work at a law firm, so.
And we're so glad you're with us, just in a different capacity.
Yes.
All right. Transact Estate. Are they on our Zoom?
Sorry.
I don't know.
Can you hear me? Have you heard from them today?
I haven't next
Okay.
I don't know if I have to unplug the mic to be able to hear her though.
Taylor, go ahead and speak and see if we can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, I have to unplug this microphone, I think.
Or just ask. Okay, go ahead.
See if we can hear her now.
Start it now, Taylor.
Hello, can you hear me?
No. It's not volume, it's not.
Can you hear me? Sorry.
It should be.
Can you see that blue button to turn up the volume on the top there? Can you click on that?
Yeah, I clicked it.
Audio and then on those, yeah, in the more drop down, put an audio and change the audio.
I don't see it. Share.
You know what?
Mm-mm. I don't know why. Let's try down here. The volume's up. See if that works.
All right now, Taylor.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, it's not really. Pull that back up, it's muted.
You can hear me okay?
I don't know how to get back to that.
Mm.
Now try, Taylor.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, we can hear you. You're good.
Okay, perfect. Hello, my name is Taylor. I am a transaction manager as well as the listing specialist. I do also have Caitlin on here, but she's just going to stay covered. She is a new team member with us as well, so she is a transaction manager and listing specialist as well. I am just here to present our services that we have and can provide to you. You can go ahead and go to the next slide. We offer 2 different plans. We have our compliance management plan, which is essentially just us coordinating with you and working through the
the process of getting your documents into compliance, making sure that your commission is entered into command, and that everything as far as your milestones are on track and that you're closing on time. We solely work with you, but we also work really closely with the compliance department. We are a part of that team, so we are able to get your documents submitted in pretty quickly and approved pretty quickly. So this plan is our cheaper plan, and it definitely benefits you to just make sure that you're focusing more on your clients and getting the transaction to the closing table while we're focusing on your documents and making sure that your commission is actually put in. On the other hand, we have our full transaction management plan. And this is where we are fully hands-on. So we are going to reach out to not only you, but to your clients, to the lender, to the title company. We'll assist with getting everything coordinated for closing, making sure that all of the milestones are hit. So loan application, loan commitment, title commitment, getting earnest money taken care of, just following everything. And we will be solely the lead communicator and only reaching out to you if there's any questions that we have or if we need assistance. This one is way more hands-on than our other one, but it still provides the same service as our compliance management. So we'll still take care of your documents, we'll still put in the commission, and we'll work closely with the compliance department to make sure that all of your documents are correct. You can go ahead and go to the next slide. We do also offer database management and social media marketing. These are a little bit more flexible depending on your needs as the agent. So if you do have any questions about these, feel free to reach out to us and we'll dive more into your needs as the agent, what you're looking for, and then kind of gauge it from there. For the database management, we do inputting and maintenance of your new and current clients, any soft touches, smart plans, any referrals that you have or would like to coordinate, we'll assist with that. And then for social media, we can either assist with getting templates created or fully assisting with getting your post posted for you and coming up with a good plan on how to get that. Coming up with a good plan on how to get your content calendar created. So if you do have any questions about any of the services that we offer, you can scan the QR code there at the bottom. I do know that we've also shared flyers with the front desk, and if the front desk needs more, I'm happy to resend that over. But that also provides more information, a little bit in depth of each service and what we do. Do you have any questions?
Any questions for her? Here's the QR code in case you want.
Taylor, I just chime in. Taylor is amazing. I've been working with Taylor and Amanda for about 3 years now, I want to say. And if you are getting to a point in your business where you're just so busy that things are starting to fall through the cracks, this is the perfect way. Instead of going out and hiring somebody full time, you can hire them on a per transaction basis, and they will run things for you. They are amazing. Taylor laughs at the dumbest jokes ever.
Yes, I do.
They're awesome.
Is that?
That is. Yeah, I need some of them. How's that? Yes.
Well, you know, the other thing is we keep talking about going back to the basics, and how many of you really work your database, clean it up, make sure it's scrubbed, all of that. And it's hard work, it's teamwork, and most of us are the type of people that we'd rather be out socializing, shaking hands, kissing babies kind of thing. They can help you with that. So keep that in mind, even if you think, oh, I don't need transaction management, but are you using your database to its full extent? Are you communicating with it regularly? Let these ladies help you get that set and running for you, because you know what, that's the secret sauce in this business. And social media, if that's not your thing, they've got a solution to that. So you guys have anything else to add?
No.
Well, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Of course.
Oh, wait, sorry, wait. What? We're good? Okay, we're good. All right, thanks, Taylor.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna plug you.
All right, let's move our thing a little bit. We always like to congratulate our cappers, those that have just hit their cap to go to 100%. So Rima Bazarbashi, Kathy Cairo, Martha Hunley, Kimberly Sharon and Marilee Luca, so congratulations.
I wanna make sure they can still hear us, cause you don't have the mic in. You sure?
All right, also our team cappers, these are individuals on teams that have hit their cap, so Angie Fry, Melanie Colheim, Michael Gallagher, Ashley, thank you, Sam Rice, and Shannon Hopper, so congratulations to our team cappers. All right, our Christiana Reno, I don't think she's here, she just had her first listing. Yes. Okay, so anyway, congratulate her when you see her. And then as for our first closing, Sherry McGregor, did I see Sherry here?
Just have to go.
Oh, and Casey Price, and I want to share a little story about Sherry. Sherry's brand new, sitting in open houses, talking to people, met somebody unrepresented that came in and turned them into her first closing. So you know what, she's brand new, open houses work. We were talking about this at the Westerville meeting this morning. If you're not doing open houses right now, you're missing the boat. Because since August changes, a lot of people don't want to sign something just to go look at a property. And there's more unrepresented people coming to open houses than ever. So anyway, I just have to share that story about Sherry. And also, I'm happy for Casey. Just got news from Casey, though, they're moving to Tampa in August. So we'll be losing her, but anyway, we'll still keep her in touch with us. All right. Also, let's go on to our top individuals. I don't know the rates.
I don't know.
Keep everything, but our top individual is that closed.
I don't know why the top won't go away though.
Group TCI for this month is Kristen Chris.
Do you know how to make that go away? Cause I'm not.
$2,248. That's a good sum.
Sorry.
All right.
There you go. Perfect. Thank you.
All right, let's look at our top individuals written volume. We had Kristen on top. She wrote 3.8 million last month. Marilee Luca, you weren't too far behind her. Nice job. Then we had Michael Bean, Sarah Marty, Bev Getter, Alton Granville, Sheila Hamill, Sean Piquet, Belen Rodriguez, Tabitha, and Darren Hunter. So nice month. Our top individual closed. We had Kristen Chris, Marilee Luca. You're saying stuff, just maybe in a little different order. Nice month. Our top team gross commission this month. Where are the Vultures? They're out closing another deal. They had a great month. Their gross commission for the month of May, 55,000. Nice job. So as far as written goes for last month, we had the Vultures followed by the OD team. And by the way, team needs two in our scenario, the way we track. One group, which is Jensen's group, followed by the Vet Hopper group, Team McTagg, Houston home team, James team, which is in Granville, Patton Howard out in Granville, Team Chapman Dozer in Lancaster, and the Maxon team in Granville. So we have a lot of people and some of our outliers, which is awesome to see too. All right, top teams closed. It's the same group, maybe a little different order, but great month. Our top group, which means 3 or more in gross commissions, was the Dixon group. And they closed $150,715. So nice month for them. Their written was over 5 million for the month, followed by Powerhouse, that's Tracy's group, the Romanelli group, Kathy Pyro's group, Sullivan group, Brittany Cox group, Jansen and Associates, I guess. The Richards group out in Granville, the DeLeon group in Lancaster, and then the Gordon group of Lancaster. So again, nice month for our groups. So the next slide.
This is closed, yeah.
Everything is the same with the exception of, on the close side, we had a trailblazing group on there, which is Josh Nundas. And he's on vacation. He texted me. Congratulations to all of them. Okay. We have our May regional spotlight. In our region, we have 23 market centers. And they track the stats of all of our agents from all of our market centers. And that's part of Indiana, all of Kentucky, and part of Ohio. And the OD team is number 12 as far as meaning 2 people working together on a team for our whole region. So that's a great little accolade to them. So nice job. All right. Also, groups, which means 3 or more. The Sullivan group is number 10 in our whole region, and the Romanelli group number 15. So nice job. And we, as our market center, have been number 1 in recruiting for our whole region. So. All right. These are your ALC numbers. What they're there for is if you have ideas, if you have thoughts, if we're making a decision, these are the individuals that represent you as the agent body. And when they make decisions, they help us make our decisions for the vote. But you all are encouraged to come to our ALC meetings. Know what's going on in our market center. Be a part of things. That's what makes us different than other companies. Our agents have a say so in how we run our business. So anyway, I always like to acknowledge and remember our ALC members. Although you can't come to our July meeting because it's going to be our retreat. We're spending a whole day outside. So, but come to August. Cinnamon couldn't be with us today, but she did provide us some information on what's going on with Cinnamon in the city. So go ahead. So thumbs down its law. The revised House Bill 54-136 General Assembly. This goes into effect and I think
It's June 30th.
June 30th. So make sure if you are texting, we all are guilty. Don't text and drive. That's the bottom line. Okay. It is illegal to use or hold a cell phone or electronic device in your hand, lap, or other parts of your body while driving. So that's what it says. Drivers under 18 are still restricted from using their devices in any way, including hands-free features. So you are legal to use a hands-free in your car, but if they're under 18, they can't. Exceptions: reporting an emergency entities, holding a phone to their ear if the call is started or stopped with a single touch or swipe, holding or using cell phones while stopped at a traffic light or parked on a road or highway during an emergency on the road closed or road closure. And you can visit the official website for more information, but I believe that this is something we're going to see more and more and more of, especially after that case that just through the courts where the semi hit the bus last year and it was all determined because he was on a cell. All right, what's off limits? Again, dialing a number, video phone calls, browsing. You know, a lot of you might like to do your videos to your sphere and on Facebook while you're driving. Don't. Stop and park somewhere to do it. Sending a text message, updating or browsing social media, watching videos. What's the bottom?
Playing games and then recording yourself. Like taking videos. Well, I guess it'll start the next few.
One of the penalties, 2 to 4 points assessed on your driver's license, $150 to $1,000 in fines, and it's doubled in the work zone, a 90-day suspension of your driver's license. So they're putting some teeth into it. Completion of a distracted driving course can help avoid finding points, but you don't want it to be done. So just prevent. All right. Sales club deadlines. July 14th, if you want to apply for your sales award, if you're an individual, it costs $80. For teams, it's $100. And the deadline is July 14th. You can still do it on July 21st, but there will be an additional late fee if you do. So the date range is from July 1st of 2024 to June 30th of 2025. So they changed. They used to do this in the fall. So know if you want to be recognized at the Realtor Prom in December. I lied. Sorry. When is this going to be recognized next? Got it. Go ahead and get applied for that. Sorry. Okay. Also, want to congratulate.
Can I make a plug for me?
Sure.
Okay, I just was in DC with Mick, with Women's Council Realtors for the AR legislation. Me and my group, to those meetings with him, and it was fantastic. And I just wanted to say, I have a real on you for the committee. That deadline is June 30th. If you are wanting to be able to speak to your clients about what is going on in our industry, I think that's a great way of doing it. And if you have a question about how to register for a committee, you can be very uninvolved as much as you want, or involved if you want. So I just registered to be a committee member, not, you know, a chair or anything. So please ask me or Mick about that. I'll be getting involved next year, and he will be our president. So might as well represent him. So don't forget to sign up for OAR.
Yeah, thank both of you for being involved. That's wonderful having been represented, and Cinnamon for what she's doing. Our head of the class, being the person that attend the most classes, education to further their business this month, was Bella Rodriguez, and he was on the board too, so as you can see, it pays off. All right.
I don't know why. Oh,
Uh-oh, what we do, we're hitting Chris.
no, it won't click through now.
There we go.
Probably just.
Our agent spotlight today is Hasina Nelson. So Hasina, come on up. I told you you'd learn more about her today. Let me get you my questions. So, oh, actually, let me give you the microphone. Okay. All right. So the reason we do this is because we want to take the opportunity to get to know our agents a little better. So come on up here, front and center, girlfriend. So, all right. So first off, why don't you tell me, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Trinidad.
Ooh, does anybody know where that is? Why don't you tell them where that is?
It is in the Caribbean, and it is pretty close to South America, Central America, where, do you know where Venezuela is?
Yes.
It's right above Venezuela.
So tell us about where you went to school, or what was the highest level of education?
I went to school in this small private college called Dowling College in Long Island, New York. And then I did my master's in math at Hampton University.
So tell us about your family.
We have 3 teenage boys and a little girl who is almost 6 years old.
So what previous jobs have you had?
Most of my jobs was being a data analyst in insurance prior to getting my real estate license.
So what made you choose real estate?
I was a little bit bored as a data analyst, and when I had my daughter Rosie, I wanted to be more flexible. So I thought in doing real estate, and my husband Greg and I, we had a couple houses that we had as rentals, and I figured I could do this part-time. And then I realized, what's that? And so
Famous last word, right?
So that's how I got into real estate.
I thought the same thing when I got I get it. So, all right, so tell me, what are your hobbies?
Most of my time is spent driving my kids to their activities. Outside of that, I do like going to the movies, and I do like to travel whenever I get a chance, and go into nice restaurants with my husband.
So where do you like to, I didn't tell you this one, so where do you like to travel? Do you have the same place you go back to, or do you go to different places?
But I go to Trinidad a lot, and then I went to Europe before, and I'm just traveling through the US. I didn't grow up here, so I like traveling and seeing different places in the US.
Yeah, most of us that live here still don't do that as much as we should. So tell us something about you that nobody or most people don't know about.
Most people don't know that I played a college sport. I walked onto the rowing team at Dowling College, and they were heavily recruiting, obviously, because I had no experience, and I was able to play like a JV, college sport. So that was pretty cool. Most people don't know that.
That's very cool. You know what? One of our agents is a rowing coach, Ben Harvey.
Oh.
And actually, he's setting up for us to have a Color Winds Greater Columbus Rowing Day in August out on Hoover. So look for that to come. So we'll look for you for the leadership.
This is like 20.
You still have more than me. So if you had one piece of advice to give another agent, what would it be?
Well, my only piece of advice would be to be consistent and to be kind.
Very good. Does anybody have any questions for Hasina they'd like to ask her? All right, well, now we know Hasina a little bit better. Thank you. Hasina. All right, our culture champion this month goes to James Sloan. You know what? James doesn't like to be pulled out in the center of attention and all that, but James, I love doing this. But James is on our ALC. He's also the chair of our education committee. And he has given us so many extras in the past, both with, he had ideas with us with onboarding. Now he's helping us work on a system for our mentoring group and how to keep track. And it's agent friendly, so the agents can find things easily. We can find things easily. And he's put extra work into that. So James, I can't thank you enough for all you do all the time, but especially right now. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Checked it. So Pamela. Here, let me get
There you go.
Okay. This is the one I was waiting for. So, if you're all not aware, Keller Williams has partnered with Canva. This is going to roll out third quarter. They're going to introduce during Mega Camp, Agent Mega Camp. You scan that barcode, you'll get great tons of information about the integration. Basically, at this point, you're not going to be paying for Canva. It's in your, but you will have to kind of log into Canva in order to be able to find the KW area there. So you're going to have no extra cost to you, KW branded templates, the MLS integration, KW premium graphics, and built by agents for agents. So everybody scan that barcode and learn a little bit more about what's coming.
And it'll be on all of our TVs too after today.
Good.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, just scan this barcode. This is for
Your personal website.
oh, your websites. Yes, this is kind of a new feature here on your website. You can kind of customize it a little bit, your color theme and your fonts. There's modern, and then there's a classic version there. I would just caution on if you make a dark slate color versus your logo, make sure your logo stands out on your page when you do make this change or change your logo.
And if you need help,
I'm always.
she's your girl.
Yeah. Next one. This is just our office exclusive Facebook group. There's the login for that up there, the URL for that as well.
So if you have a listing that's an office exclusive, it's a place for us to share it with one another that stays within our brokerage because we can't advertise it outside. It's our
YouTube
Oh,
channel.
just our YouTube channel, sorry. Yes, if you miss a class and it's been recorded, you can find it right here on our own YouTube channel. KWGC classes, KWCRclasses.com.
And if you missed Justin Phillips' AI class yesterday, you missed a bunch. It was awesome. He made it simple, things you could take away and do, and we did record it. And so we'll have that on our
It
YouTube
is
channel.
available, yes.
He's supposed to email you.
Yeah, he hasn't yet. Yeah, he's gonna send me the slides. And the names of the different apps that he spoke of. Okay.
On the agent resources page. KWGCagentresources.com. It's our market center website, and you can go here to find just about any question you can think of, like after hours, in the middle of the night, you have a question, you can't get a hold of anybody. It's a great resource this year.
And now we have
QR
a
code.
yeah, QR code for it, so. All right, now we'll have our MCA minute with Jennifer.
So, real estate market update. Real estate market update, you can, use the code there to see everything you need to see on, on that. And then.
What month are we talking about, nationwide?
National.
And then if you go to the next slide, this will be coming out a little later today. I'll have it covered as an email, or you'll have copy of this, and if you need one that you want to be able to make it do like update to it for your logo, that kind of thing.
Customize
You can email me and I will give you a different copy so you can put those updates on there.
Look at these, before you move on, Jennifer, look at these numbers, guys, between the addition of the Westerville group and growing in general and all of our hard work. Look at us. Here's Columbus Realtors. Mostly down. Look how much we're up. So look at the difference. Now, is this something that would be great for you to have talking points with your clients about? A reason to call them or touch base or share on a listing appointment? Absolutely. And like Jennifer was saying, you can customize it. So, yeah. No, that's okay. It's fine.
No, I was gonna say that.
Oh.
I was gonna say like, and so you know how these numbers are gotten, they take like the number that was from May, like would do closed units of May of 24 and the closed units of May of 25. And then that's how you get your percentages and the for that. So we do the MLS, and we do our office, just so you guys understand, it's not like May through May, it's just May of 24 and May of 25, and that's the difference, of the growth, so the growth. And that kind of thing. So, okay.
All right. Mark, do you have anything to share?
We do have some purchase contract classes coming up. I think it's on your training calendar. We're gonna have it in Westerville. We'll have it here in our Market Center at Easton, and we're out in Lancaster.
Yeah, they're on the calendar. He's talking about we have contract classes coming up.
Purchase contract class. If you have a specific topic about contract writing or problems that you're coming across, I'm sure you're not the only one. Let me know what they are. We can make that a primary part of our discussion in contract conversations. I know just recently, we've had a lot of discussion about what an as-is contract is and the complications behind the terminology of as-is. I don't think a lot of people understand that word. So I think that's gonna be a part of my next contract writing too, and how to handle that. So, but if you do have a specific topic you want to address, let me know and we'll spearhead it and kind of stay focused. Because you're not the only one with the issue. We've got a lot of people.
The other thing that you and I talked about yesterday, if you buy real estate for yourself and invest, which we want you to, and that's wonderful. But you're flipping, make sure that you are pulling all the proper permits and doing all the things that you need to do. And we're also going to have a meeting with all of you because you're going to need to make a brokerage as an additional steward. So if you are flipping properties, you're held to a higher standard because you have a real estate license. So we just want to make sure that you're doing it and doing it properly.
So the Market Center will need a copy of your LLC. And like David was talking about, your insurance is going to have the additional rider as KWGCR. But just in case there was litigation. No, it'd be our office policy. We need to, in my perspective, we need to protect us as a market center and an office. It's not a law, but it's going to be a policy that we need to implement. We have several people that are investing and rehabbing properties and reselling them. And there's just things that do come up. Whether the work was done properly, whether the permits were pulled. Then we have issues that will follow after the closing. And what we need to do is protect us. We need to protect you. Understand that. And if you have any questions, we can sit down and go over some of the specific details that we've come across.
Business, is
Of the flip business.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, a lawsuit by somebody's property impacts everybody in our office because it makes our E&O insurance. So that's why we've got to make sure that everybody's doing everything properly.
we can talk more, but I feel like opposite was too much into our post of the.
As long as you have the additional insured piece of it, that for that LLC, we'll talk through that, but it's to make sure, it's to protect everybody. Because like I said, if somebody does a property, they flip it, they don't pull permits. We had a situation in our office a couple of years ago where we had represented buyer. The seller was listed by someone else. Our buyer bought the property, permits were not pulled. of course, our buyer's agent didn't know that, the buyer didn't know that, the buyer moved into the house 2 weeks later. The city of Columbus showed up and said, we're tearing out all of your drywall and you need to vacate your house. And they tore out all the drywall to look at the electric, the plumbing, and everything else. It's still a lawsuit. So that impacts all of us.
More often, because there's so much innovation going on. Are we seeing these cities or townships, taking back?
They're policing it more so than.
I think, for sure, the building permits being supervised by the cities. What we're saying is that you move into the house, you're the buyer, and it was installed properly, and there's leaks or there's problems or structural problems. And then the buyer ends up turning around and filing a lawsuit against the realtor and the broker. And most cases, it's not even against the seller, but what we're talking about, if you are the builder, you're the rehabber, we need to make sure that you are doing the work properly, legally, so that whoever's buying that property is not cutting corners and causing harm to the buyer.
Yeah.
Because they will come back to us and they are doing that.
Yeah, and Tracy, I'll address something that, look, the last thing we want to do is get involved in your personal business, but you have a real estate license, you cannot separate that no matter how many LLCs you have. If you are the managing member of that LLC, your license still applies to each and every one of those. So therefore, that relates to us. We're asking if you're going to conduct that type of business, that you name us an additional insured with no additional cost to you. And that's going to be the policy.
And when there is litigation, the E&O carrier calls us and says, did your agent, did you get a copy of their LLC and insurance, and were you added as a buyer? And if we say no, then it doesn't make us look like we are doing our fiduciary duty to protect the markets.
Is there any?
Being policed more, since there's so many more renovations happening.
We're getting more from the buyer, not the city, more from the buyer.
Okay.
Is there any way it shouldn't be within the 1099 agreement with the office? Just idea right now, I have no idea. But basically somehow, some way say anything really, related to the agent's personal business, not gonna be a liability for the office, and the agent have to look at the care of it, or something like that.
It's just like you cannot, so like I said before, you still have to conduct yourself as both a real estate licensee and a realtor. You are a member of National Association of Realtors, Ohio Realtors. You got code of ethics you have to follow. You can't ever put that down, no matter what you're doing. Okay, that's not something you say, oh, I wasn't acting real. Specifically, if you're renovating real estate, any judge that you get in front of is not going to let you play, that's my LLC. They're just not going to.
But I don't know that I involved to my personal business.
You go by, you don't want to be as law,
But we do want to be insured for your business.
At the bank, you can't.
it doesn't cost you anything, you just, if you're with the brokerage. You contact your insurance company and say, I'm Callaway Insured Columbus Realty LLC as an additional insured. That's it.
Just like we are on your, just like we are on your auto.
Just like your auto.
Yeah.
But if you go about your business and you're building these properties, rehabbing them correctly, we'll never hear from you.
And we want you to do that. It's a great way to be.
We want you to build well all day long.
And even if you're a contractor, you still have to be supervised by a brokerage, and that's where that's, so I could do to ask about the different contracts, because you have to be supervised by a brokerage when you have a real estate.
We're not gonna tell you how to build it.
Next slide.
I don't know how to build it. But building inspectors do. Homeowners, when they buy something that's broken, they figure out that it's done wrong real quick. Because we get the call, we have to then go about the we have to diffuse the problem real quick, figure out how to solve it.
Okay, and we'll have more about that.
That's another, we'll have classes on that, but thank you. Or you can talk to Dale or myself, on an individual basis, if you have some direct questions.
All right, we also want to, even though we usually handle this in our cultural spotlight, we want to thank the Dixon team for teeing up an unforgettable golf outing again. It was a lot of fun. And for those that were there, it poured rain up until literally we were getting in our carts. And I remember seeing Ben Jones getting his cart. We put it in reverse first, and buckets of water just came down the front. They got soaked. But we had a blast. It was humid, but it was a great time. So thanks to the Dixon. And here's some pictures from it, and you'll see that scrolling on our carousels. All of our Johnstown agents recently participated in the Fireman's Festival. And so this was some of the marketing that they had, and they were, they have a booth out for the farmers markets in Johnstown too. So just to highlight our Johnstown agents. Happy Father's Day to all of you fathers in the room. I know it's a little late, but still the sentiment is there. And we've got a lot of fathers that work with their kids. So we wanted to spotlight them. So we've got the Richards, the DeSenas, the Kanowskis, the DeLeons, and Sullivans. So happy Father's Day. Christina, you jumped to it early. That's okay. You stole our thunder. That's all right. So we appreciated what you guys did when you were attending everything on Capitol Hill. Was that last month? Was it this month?
It was. Taylor, can I take 3 minutes? The state budget was passed yesterday. There was a lot of real estate. This is important. The state of Ohio every 2 years passes a budget, and it's how we operate our state, but it's also how all of our legislators put everything they ever wanted to get into a bill but can't get it passed ordinarily. They get it into the budget. So a lot of things were passed in the budget yesterday. Now the governor has not signed it yet. Going back to your schoolhouse rock days, for those of you who are old enough, it's still just a bill, right? And, until the governor signs it, in the state of Ohio, he has veto power on a line item basis, so he can line item whatever in that budget he doesn't like, and he has to do that by the end of the month. So these things are what were passed in the budget, but they are not law yet. They won't be law until the governor signs it, but it's important that you know. A couple of things that were in the budget that are not real estate related is across the board tax cut, state income tax cut down to 2.5%. Do we have any Cleveland Browns fans in the room? $600 million for the stadium of Cleveland. And for those of us that are Bengals fans, we have $400 million for other stadiums. So I'm not sure what that means. Here's what's important to talk about. There's a lot of talk about property tax changes and reforms in property taxes. So pay attention to this one. There is a referendum going around the state to abolish the property taxes in the state of Ohio. Okay, that's a real thing. They will not get the 400,000 signatures necessary by the deadline, which is the end of this month, but they will get to it eventually. So it won't be on the ballot this year, but it probably will be next year. Here's what's important. When your friends ask you about that, it's one of the dumbest things ever. Okay, because there's no replacement. It's $20 billion that they're just saying you can't collect, meaning the state and the local municipalities will have no revenue coming from property taxes. That's not smart. So that is on its way, but people are asking. I've gotten a lot of questions about that. Here's some of the things that did get approved. The elimination of replacement levies. Because of the way schools are funded by property taxes, there's a lot of tight rules around how much money a school can collect through the tax and property taxes. They've been able over the last 10, 15 years to change the terminology on levies, and they call them replacement levies. They're not technically replacement levies, they're expiring levies and they need to be new levies, and they're not going to be able to call them that anymore, to try to bring clarification to the ballot box so we as taxpayers know what we're voting for. There's a long-standing law that says if a school board passes levies that can collect X number of dollars, we'll say $40 million in a year, that's all they're allowed to collect. Okay, they're not allowed to collect more because your property value went up. All right. And those of us in the business 20 years ago, remember when property values went down, guess what? They collected the exact same amount. That's the law. So they've been able to wiggle some loopholes into that, and the state budget has closed that. So we won't see automatic tax increases just because our values go up. That's a very complicated issue. It's House Bill 920 from 1976. School districts are going to be capped at 40% carryover of operating expenses every year. That is huge. Some of these school districts work with it again. They're getting real good at these loopholes. They say this particular change in the law could save billions across the state. Then we're going to have to keep an eye on the school districts on how they're going to be creative with accounting. But that's a big one. Counties will be able to enhance the homestead exemption as well as the owner-occupied credit that is currently completely funded at the state level. They're going to allow individual counties through the ballot box to be able to change the exemption for people that are over 65 as well as owner-occupied. And 2 years ago, a law was changed that didn't allow that created a rule that does not allow third parties to challenge property values. What was happening in the state of Ohio for 25, 30 years, school districts, they would see a big transfer happen, and it would happen in new build communities, it would happen with commercial properties. There's all sorts of ways they would do that. A law was created 2 years ago that does not allow a third party to challenge a property valuation at the auditor's level, but they were able to create a loophole. Again, these schools are very creative, and this closes that particular loophole. The other one, for those of you who are involved with developers, is a big one. Right now, in certain municipalities in the state of Ohio and all municipalities, it only takes 15% of the signatures of registered voters to put a referendum on the ballot to be able to vote a completely approved development project down. Something that is developed well within zoning, perfectly acceptable to all the laws on the books. 15%, and in some cases that was like 60 people, are able to get something on a ballot, and it is 100% failure rate for those referendums. The developments always lose, and that 15% number is more than doubling to 35%, and that passed in yesterday's budget. So that's it. Any questions? Feel free to call me.
Maybe we can summarize some of those too and put it out.
Once the governor signs it, we'll, yeah. They change all of this, but I don't.
All right, I'm not gonna spend time going over the training calendar. You all know how to access it. Next month, our all company meeting is going to be at Easton outdoors in the Oval. It's our annual picnic. It's family friendly. Bring your kids, your significant others, anybody from your family. We'll be providing the meat. I think it's gonna be burgers and dogs, I think. And we haven't. And then everybody will bring a side dish to share. So if you didn't bring your side dish today, bring it next month. And even if you did, bring one anyway. No, okay. So it's always fun. We're going to have some games. We're going to have a cornhole tournament. So mark it on your calendar. And it's also Pamela and I's birthday week. So we'll be celebrating our birthdays. All right. Also, next month, another good reason we're having it outdoors is the Easton office is going to see a little renovation. So we're going to be doing some painting, getting new carpeting, some new artwork and all of that. So be ready to be patient as we're going through renovations. You Westerville folks know what that's all about. Now Easton's going to be experiencing it. All right, thank you.
It's the-
Okay, this is a class that's coming up on June 30th at the Easton office, and it's a CE class. So make sure you RSVP. A lot of these guys, they're bringing lunch in, so they need to know how many people they're putting. On to the next.
I don't know why.
All right.
There we go.
Our offices will be closing early next week. Red, white, and boom poses a lot of bad traffic around Columbus, as you all know. So we'll be closing early on the 3rd, and we're closed on Friday the 4th. Everybody be safe. Tiffany is going to be doing some tech training for us Tuesday, on July 8th at the Westerville office, and then Meg is going to be doing the commissions and command class out in our Granville office on Wednesday the 9th. So watch for those classes. Do you have anything you want to say, Tiffany?
No, we'll be here that day at 1 p.m. hopefully.
She's gonna help me work on individual check Christine. We typically don't.
At those two locations.
Yeah, we've got, that's from Easton. All right. Also, if you want to get your home on the realtor tour, we do the virtual realtor tour every other Wednesday. Please make sure you register. Lily will be happy to get your home set. Also, we've got fast track for, especially for you new agents, but it's not just for new agents. If you want to come to these classes, you can. Here are your instructors and what they're teaching. So Arnold does the coloring systems and models. So if you need a brush up, see Arnold. Day 3, Jill's doing the working with sellers. Day 4, we've got working with buyers, and that's Kate. And then James is doing the lead generation. So if you just want different ideas, come to those classes.
How long do they run?
They are Monday through Thursday, 1 month. They are from 9 to noon, with the exception of Arnold's Day, which is 10 to noon. And then on the next month, they're in the evenings from 5 to 8, 5:30 to 8:30. So if we've got, we repeat them every month. All right. You get a headshot? We got you covered. July 11th is the next time Brian's coming in. Okay. I mentioned our picnic. Keep going. Oh,
I know.
All right, Lily, help me out here. I can't see what we're doing. July 15th.
It's the self-defense class.
Oh, Steve Shula has, he's the chair of our safety committee on our ALC. And he has coordinated a safety class. So this is a great thing for all of you to attend, all of us. So get signed up for that on July 15th from 2 to 5.
Yeah, you get free credit for continuing.
Continuing education, thank you.
This is, the company is sponsored by Ohio Village. So it's gonna be at our gym. So it's gonna be an hour and a half of instruction. Videos, classroom, an hour and a half of hands-on.
All right.
So highly recommend, the guy comes highly recommended by Ohio Village. And so, when we were at spring convention, we met him, talked to him, and, so that's where we do. So we have sponsors that, Northwest Title, local, so.
Very good.
Steve, I don't buy.
Yes.
People dress for.
People should dress for the events, wear gym shoes and shorts. When we put out the memos, we'll tell people to dress.
Yeah, we want to be on for tire. I mean, it's gonna be classroom setting for an hour and a half, and then he said it's very hands-on.
Okay,
It'll be a fun time, good $3.
very good. Also, we talked about, we want you to invest in real estate and create wealth for yourself. I'll tell you what, if you've not been to Jimmy and Linda's class on creating that wealth, it's coming up in Lexington. I know it's a little bit of a haul. They do a great job. I'm gonna try to get them to come to Columbus and do this again sometime in the not too distant future, but the quicker you start, the better off you're gonna be. All right, don't forget about all the Keller Williams podcasts, great information. I listen to something every morning when I'm getting ready, and a lot of times on my drive in, and I go to this, I go to other people like Mel Robbins, but they're out there for you, great tools. The Rookie Real Estate Agent book, which is the next Keller Williams book. You know, there was MREA, there was Shift, there was the One Thing. This is the next one coming out. And it's going to be coming out in September, and you can pre-order it now. Always check the do not call list. Bill, anything to add for us?
Nothing really, just two quick things, people are getting a lot of calls, both the clients and from you, what's gonna happen next month, in July with the Federal Reserve, there's only a 20% chance that anything happens, so I would not expect to see a big announcement of rate cuts at this point. One of the biggest challenges right now, and talking to a lot of buyers now, is just their expectations and how picky they are. I was on a call the other day where I guess nationally, 15 to 18% of contracts in May fell out. A lot of times it's very minor things on inspection. I actually have a client like that right now. So the education piece, guys, for you is really critical, setting proper expectations and managing those inspections, because obviously oftentimes something's on an inspection that's not really life altering or life risking, but it sounds scary. So being able to manage that. We are running a little bit of a special. I have 10 reservations available for July free approvals, where you can get $500 discount on your closing costs and up to 3/4 of a discount point to buy down rate. So that's a bit of a help. 3/4 of the discounts throughout the quarter, discount in the department. So if anybody has needs any help with buyers that are struggling to get a little bit higher for approval, let me know.
All right, I don't think we have anybody from Rapid here today, so we'll go ahead. American Preferred Home Warranty, just quickly, Mark asked me to share this with you all. They have a new homeowner concierge specialist position. So when you use their home warranty, every homeowner will receive a warranty that receives a warranty, will receive a personal welcome call from someone on their team that's dedicated to the homeowner concierge specialist. And then they can connect directly with the buyer. They'll walk them through their coverage, what's covered, what's not covered, answer questions, offer support. And then they're the long-term support throughout the process of them having a home. So it's something that they've added to try to make it more consumer friendly. So I just wanted to share that. Okay. Thank you to our cultural committee for putting today on, and Kate's going to share with you guys why we're doing this and how we're doing this.
Oh yeah. Okay, so why we're doing this, as a real estate company, we help people from all walks of life find their place in the world. Homes and neighborhoods are built on diversity, and food, for me it is often the first way people share their culture and connect with us. So a little bit of history behind food and cultural celebration. For generations, people have gathered around the table to celebrate traditions, tell stories, and welcome new friends. Food has always been a bridge between cultures, a way to learn about one another and build community. What makes this special? Today, we get to taste, literally, all of the many backgrounds and traditions that make up our team. Whether it's a family recipe passed down for generations or just a favorite dish that brings comfort, every plate has a story. So feel free to share a little bit about your dish as people come around, whether it's where they're from, why you love it, or who taught you how to make it. So with that being said, guys, it's time. Let's go dig in, celebrate each other, and enjoy this incredible variety of flavors that represent the many paths that brought us all here today.
Thanks, Gabe.
Oh, you know what? Oh, yeah, and after you guys get your plates and you come back and everybody's hanging out, I want your money. Alright? So get your dollars out. If you guys don't have any cash, I have a little extra cash. All right, you guys go ahead. Enjoy.
So then can I stop this and end the meeting then?
Just leave.
Like, I'll stop
that.
screen sharing
But just leave maybe that up on the screen.
and then Zoom.
Yeah.
I
don't know, girl.
I don't know how to make this bigger. I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna end. Okay.